All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 704. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who's going to say, Wombat.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said we're joined by a man who also said, yeah, Wombat. Nice. No, that part I can do. Wombat. All right.
Nice.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Shipwreck made a face. Shipwreck makes faces now when I do the intro, and if I look at it, it throws me for a second. And so he's doing his job. Good job.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working. The system is working. Welcome to the show, everybody. Wombat, I gave you nothing, Wombat. I'm sorry. I
know. I thought you were gonna be like, and now a man that's also going to announce 40 or 50 new games.
No, well, yeah.
I could have said something, read back the interview, and you would know exactly what I said.
Right. That's the Jeff Keighley yelling at IGN for not.
Yep. for misquoting him.
Right.
That's where we are in video game discourse. Jeff Keighley yelling at IGN.
He's got a lot of followers, Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, well, that's kind of his job.
He's got a lot of money on those exclusives to where you can't say you're going to announce 40 to 50 because then like the big players that paid money for that spot are going to be like, what? There's 50
more
games?
of us?
That's
how many more houses are you building, here. Jeff?
Right.
How many more pools do you need?
I like to think of it though, like he was just going to get up there and read the list of Nintendo titles for a week. Just like,
how do they think? Yeah.
Here's the 50 Nintendo games you've never heard of coming out this week.
Right. I mean, that would fill up numbers. That would put the numbers on the board. That's the only way you're probably putting up those kind of numbers.
Yep.
Maybe that's maybe next year. Maybe it's more than 40 to 50. Maybe it's like 100.
I didn't read the interview, so
right. Nobody did.
I'd have
apparently.
to read the transcript to really know for sure.
We'll never know, and it's better that way.
Mm-hmm. How many do you think it is? I think it's. What do you think he said?
7.
It might be. I'm thinking he said 14 to 15 games. That's where they got 40 to 50 from.
He said,
although at what point is it like 14 to 15 isn't a range people say in conversation?
Right. He probably never mentioned any games.
Maybe he said 14 or 15 games.
He was talking about how many stories he's going to be putting on his new house. It's good. It's a big house. It's like,
does he?
A skyscraper.
Does he live in a skyscraper?
He will be after these 40 to 50 exclusives. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Shipwreck and I both have headaches. So that's where we're at so far.
Not caused by Wombat, we think.
Yet.
No. I had it like all day or like for half of the day, maybe. And instead of coming up with a clever intro, I tried to lay down on my bed and take a nap, but it was...
Why didn't you
That's exactly what I was trying to do before the show.
Why not like an Advil? Did you try Advil?
I took two Tylenols, so maybe it'll kick in. I usually don't like to do that, but I
had some elderberries.
Why not? Tylenol is for headaches.
I don't get a lot of headaches, really. So usually they just go away if I get one.
So the Tylenol should totally work then. It's like, it only doesn't work if you use Tylenol all the time.
Oh, you think I have an immunity, a tolerance, Tylenol? Yeah. No, I almost never take it.
Then you should be fine.
We'll see. I'll let you know. But the nap didn't work. I can tell you that. I just lay down on my bed and I was like, first of all, I don't have enough time to really nap.
But if you take too much Tylenol, your kidneys fall out. So don't take too much Tylenol.
I did when I had my kidney stone. I took a lot of. Once I ran out of my codeine, I guess it was, or the oxy, whatever it was.
OxyContin, yeah.
I ran out of that pretty quick. And once I ran out of that, they're just like, no, we're not giving you any more. Just you're taking Tylenol. So I would take a lot of Tylenol throughout the day. It does work if you take a lot. Anyway, how was your camping trip, Wombat?
It's over. So that's the best part.
It was cold. I remember that.
It was 36 degrees at night when I went camping. That is very cold to be essentially outside asleep.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I honestly don't recommend it. The air mattress totally worked. Came in, it was perfect. It kept me nice and off the ground. That's like the big key. I'm like the only dad there that isn't former military, and they were giving me all their tips for sleeping outside.
Yeah.
In the cold.
Have a gun.
They were like the
big gun.
A gun. The trick is to stay off the ground because all your heat's going to escape and go into the frozen ground. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I had my big air mattress, and I slept in thermal pants, sweatpants, 2 pairs of socks, a t-shirt, a thermal shirt, a sweatshirt,
A lot.
and the sleeping bag. And when I'm in the sleeping bag and all bundled up, I'm fine. But if you like roll over a little bit and like sticking your arm out of the sleeping bag, after about 10 seconds, your arm starts to freeze and you got to put it back. You got to like reposition yourself. So I slept maybe 20 minutes.
I read the comments about it, and they said that you needed to have an insulated pad or something. That the air mattress is not enough.
It's an outdoor grade air mattress.
Right, but they were saying, the people in the comments were saying that you need some sort of. I this is useless information for me.
He does this once a year.
Right, right. Just suck it up and be cold.
Sleeping bag.
Oh,
what character was on your sleeping bag?
Nothing. It is bright purple though. I do have a bright purple sleeping bag. So
that's good if the police need to find you later.
Yeah.
Stand out. Or if you want the other dads to make fun of you, it's good for that.
Exactly. Too. So it was fairly eventful. So one of the kids got injured. Luckily, not mine. There was a trip to a hospital. Luckily, not me. Yeah. It was like crazy.
This sounds like every one of these like Boy Scout camping trips. There's always some kid who gets sick or runs into a tree or something.
And I will say he's fine. It's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. But it was definitely scary. So I'm glad he's okay. But yeah, it was like it was a very interesting camping trip.
Did anybody fall into the Doody hole? No one.
Did I send you the picture of the bathroom?
I laughed so hard when Wombat sent the picture of the bathroom.
Okay,
it was too like. They didn't have the toilets didn't have covers on them. They had a seat though, and they had a roof and like a wall, but it wasn't totally. It was like outside clearly.
It was an outhouse. It was a traditional outhouse.
And Wombat sent the picture, and the caption was "I'm glamping," and I did laugh when I said that, and I showed it to my family, and they laughed too.
At night, because it was the only time I could really get a good lighting down the hole. We went and shone the flashlight down the hole.
Wait, what?
Hole.
Why'd you want to look in the Doody hole?
Wait,
oh my God.
Doing?
If I told you how deep it was, it's like 20 feet down in that hole in the scary toilet. If you fell in there, you're never coming out. Like there's no way to get you out. You're just trapped in the Doody forever.
But
there's not like a rope. There's not like a rope they have.
I don't think
hole?
so. No,
like, usually you have like a plunger. You just have a rope.
You fall in. Only one kid pooped in that toilet, and he comes out. He goes, "I pooped in the scary toilet."
Whose idea was it to look into the Doody hole with a flashlight?
Oh, it was everyone wanted to look in the Doody hole with a flashlight.
Who is the primary idea?
Oh, me.
Okay,
me.
Thank you.
Yeah, me. Of course. Yeah,
hey,
I'm
kids,
proud.
don't you want to look into the Doody?
No,
I mean, I don't. I don't know. I don't want to go near the Doody hole. I don't even want to.
So when you go like in a porta potty, are you like glancing into there too, or what? Like,
no.
There's no mystery there.
There's no mystery there. This was like a mystery Doody hole. This is a completely different.
Did you post that picture on Twitter?
I didn't, but I could. I can send that.
Shanafan likes that for the archives.
Yeah, no, it's a good archive one.
In the videos.
But we came home. This is what I did that night. I came home. I was so exhausted. I was not going anywhere for the remainder of the day, nor did anyone ask me to do anything. I should add. I was like sick from just like not sleeping and being out in the cold. And at about 9 o'clock, I took some ZQuil.
Okay.
And just put my head on the pillow. And I slept for like 14 hours.
Wow.
And that was it. And then I was fine.
14 hours.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I did like a good 14 hours.
I can't do that these days. Like even like in my best, I have to be sick.
You know, I would, yeah, that's a special occasion kind of sleep. It's not it's not an everyday thing, and it's not something I want to do on a regular basis. But in that situation, you need to get yourself back to normal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say the first thing you did after you came home was get a flashlight and look down your toilet. But...
And that's, no, actually the first thing I did was make a cup of coffee.
Right. All right. Well,
I made record time coming home from Alpine, New Jersey, though.
Couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there.
Oh my God. I think like there's still a smoke cloud shaped like my car.
It's like Horizon 5. Isn't that one of the missions in Horizon 5, I think?
Yeah, exactly.
Get the fuck out of the campsite. This thing sucks. Oh my God. I'm going to sleep for 14 hours.
Hello, Stuart. That's what my woman sounds like. Hello, Stuart. You need to get out of the campsite.
David. David. I have to go to the next event, David. I had to change the name of that lady to something else other than my name because it was just bugging the shit out of me.
I haven't figured out how to go back and change my voice because I accidentally set it up as a female. Yeah, that's exactly how she said it.
Robert.
Like Dr. Who.
But my character voice is also female.
Yes.
Because when I was selecting it, like there was like a delay or something, and I'm like,
you could do it again. You do it at your house.
It's easy.
I don't have a house yet.
Well, then when you get a house, you could do it.
Yeah, I'm
get a
stuck
house
right now.
Right.
Rabbit.
Yes. See what happened?
Rabbit.
I made a woman in Forza with robot arms and a robot leg, and then she started calling me David. I didn't even select it. She just started calling me David. And I'm like, now you're fucking up my whole thing.
Yeah, it was a little creepy the first time that happens, right? Like,
yeah,
it's like, from because they picked it up.
I know, but
well, I know that,
but it fucked up my whole like pronouns and stuff. I had like this whole thing going. Not really, but I did fuck me up, and then I wound up just changing my character to look like me because I'm like, well, if you're gonna call me David, I'm just gonna make you look like. And then I decided I'm just gonna make myself Jeff Bezos because we look the same anyway.
Are there beards in this game?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I couldn't find one. I hate the way my guy's face is. I hate. I
can't like win one in a spin or anything.
Thank God.
Think so.
No, I hope not.
Well, let's save this for later. I have many thoughts.
Don't even mention that. Don't give them any ideas. Yes, that's a good idea, Wombat. I agree.
I have many thoughts on this.
On Forza, yeah, I played a lot of Forza for sure. I do have an update, an Orange Theory update. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew as soon as I mentioned that I hadn't seen this dude in like 3 months that I was going to see him very quickly. And I told Mrs. Cheevy, like, as soon as I said it on the CAGcast, I told her just what I said. And sure enough, he was in like Monday or Tuesday's class. Greg, I don't know. He didn't wear a tracker on his arm, so his name didn't show up on the scoreboard. So I still don't know his name.
That's intentional.
He doesn't want people talking to him.
He doesn't want. It's like, oh no, if I don't take the tracker, he won't know how to find me.
And not only that, people can't see his stats, like what he's doing. Maybe look, you may be right. Actually, I know you're joking, but that may be like something that people do. I wouldn't be that surprised, but probably not him. Anyway, so I saw it. I'm like, oh, good. So after class, I was hoping that I could catch him, and sure enough, I caught him.
Hopefully it was like at a urinal and you went to the urinal next to him.
Just on the bench.
On the back. Hey, haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, a nice cock, by the way.
Girthy.
No, this was just sitting on the bench. Like he was sitting on the bench after the class. And I just said, hey, haven't seen you in a while. And he's like, yeah, I've just been coming at different times, basically. He's coming. And I go at the same time.
When are you coming again?
You will never see him again.
No. I always go at the exact same time because I like that time because there's not that many people and it's convenient for me. So I always go the exact same time. Different days, but the same time. And I guess he's
definitely was doing a telehealth with his therapist on the way back. And he was there. And he talked to me. No, I'm not making him up. He's a real person.
Right. No, he actually, I know he doesn't think anything bad about me because when I said, I haven't seen you in a while, and he said he's going to different classes, the first thing he said after that was like, he was asking me about this class that we just took. He's like, oh, did you make it all the way up the hill without stopping? So he engaged me to see how I liked the class and how I was doing.
That sounds like politeness.
I didn't ask him about his rowing at all. I didn't feel like I should talk to him about the rowing in this first
good intuition.
No, I just let's not mention the rowing. Let's just go with what he wants to talk about.
This is not the time we talk about rowing. We did no rowing. There was no rowing going on. This was not the time to bring up rowing.
I didn't. We talked about the walk, running up the severe inclines. And that was it. And then talked about both of our lacks of athletic prowess, and then said goodbye. So it was good, successful, very not awkward and good. And I will check out his rowing next time and report back to everybody and videotape it. No, that's a joke.
Yes.
That's a joke. I would never do that. But let's move on to some show feedback and get this
Sure.
party really started.
This one is from Sinful Fate, who has to say, Wombat, I think the game you were thinking of was Marvel Nemesis, Rise of the Imperfects. This was an EA Marvel fighting game that came out back in 2005. This is in reference to me talking about a canceled Marvel fighting game that EA made. Now, I was both right and wrong. I was confusing it with this game that I thought actually did not come out, but it
Have
did.
you forgotten about the Imperfects?
Yeah, exactly. And
By the way, just for everybody else, any game developer or publisher, don't put like the word imperfect in your game title or like movie or anything that's going to get it reviewed. Just it's like
also
or bad. Don't put bad in the title either.
If you're making a game and you have access to Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, and Wolverine,
Right.
don't be like, and we can make characters that are just as good as those, because you can't.
Fire guy.
Yeah, you just can't. You're not going to. Don't try it. It's 100% not worth the
Cheaper
effort.
though, maybe.
Cheaper, not even
Maybe
because
not.
you're already paying for Spider-Man.
You did the hard part already.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
just say
But
just say
maybe
like
Inchworm guy was going to catch on.
exactly like even if you were like, well, who else can we use from the Marvel universe that's like maybe C-list or D-list here? Those are still going to be better than whatever crappy idea you're going to come up with, and this game is the proof of that.
Shit seeker.
Yeah, exactly. The duty hole.
he can seek out any feces anywhere. Doesn't matter how deep. Doesn't matter what it's behind. His duty vision.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's.
But
Well, there's more here.
There was, by the way, there was a game that EA was working on after this. So there was another Marvel fighting game.
Fall of the Imperfects.
Exactly. That did not get released. There were leaked screens from
Okay.
years later.
Got
So I was both right and wrong. Cheapy, will you be jumping back into Warzone when they release the new map? And have you watched the final season of Lucifer? He also asks.
Probably not, because I'm getting into Apex now, and I can't be shitty at both of these games. I got to pick one game and be shitty at that.
Stick a lane.
I got to pick exactly. Choose the lane, and I think Apex. I'm into Apex now. I feel like I just have a better chance of success with Apex, and I'm going to stick. And the hard drive space is at a premium, and we know Call of Duty is a fucking disaster when it comes to that. And I have not. We sort of bailed on Lucifer. Like, it wasn't really anything. The show wasn't getting bad or anything. It's very much like a traditional television drama. In like, it follows the standard like formats and tropes of shows like that, even though it is unique in ways. And we just sort of got tired of watching it and moved on to other things. But it's a good show, and I don't know how it finished off, but we just there's just too many things to watch. We just moved on. We watched plenty of it. Sometimes that happens. You watch enough seasons of it, and you're like, yeah, I get it. It's good. Let's try out this other stuff. I have an Apple review here. I've been checking in on the reviews. Well, they get emailed to me from one of our stat tracking services.
That's convenient.
It's convenient when they're good. They only send you one usually, like whatever the last one is. So sometimes they're good and sometimes they're horrible. And they're never in between, like I told you, except for the one guy who made a totally in between one because I mentioned it on the show. But this was a good one. This is from Healthy Jim, and you can tell he's healthy just when you read this very normal-sized and healthy-sounding review. He says, great podcast that has adjusted to life as we all grow older with him. As a gamer with a 9-year-old stepdaughter, I appreciate listening to a gamer podcast that understands the family side of life and how that mixes into gaming life. The podcast can definitely get a little science-y on occasions, thanks to what's going on in the world, but that's life in 2021. Mostly just leaving this 5-star review to take away one of those 1-star political crazy reviewers. Eat it, crazies. Great podcast, guys. Keep it up. At this point, I think we have so many reviews in the bank that it would take a lot of crazies to tank our reviews.
Don't.
But also,
don't
no. I'm the step 2 is I could give 2 shits what our reviews are. Like, really, like it's something to read and kill some time on the show. And when they're well written like this, I like to read them. And sometimes when they're also very poorly written, I like to read them for similar but alternate reasons. So I do not care. Like, it does not, when I see a negative one, it does not like ruin my day. People, like, please, like, trust me, I do not care. Go nuts. Fucking go nuts and see if you can circumvent Apple's defenses. Well, maybe I'm not allowed to say that. Don't do that. That's probably illegal. You probably should not do anything illegal. Let's move on to things that are also not illegal. Watching things on streaming services and in movie theaters.
Not all in streaming services.
I know. I was getting there.
Not this time. Slow
there's
down.
There's one brave man out there who will go to the movie theater.
I am the one brave man who will go to the theaters. I saw Eternals.
I am happy that you supported Kumail. You were more of a man than I am. More of a
I know. He's been liking a lot more of my tweets. I you know, it's can't be a coincidence.
No, I mean, how did you like it?
You know what? And it's funny because this is not a well-reviewed movie. If you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, it's the lowest review score. Although it does have a fairly high user review score.
Okay.
But the cinema score was a B, which apparently is the lowest for any Marvel movie. All the things, a B is bad, I guess. I liked it. I like this movie. I don't know. Maybe because the last real movie I saw before it was Snake Eyes. I don't know. Maybe that's
palate cleanse.
Yeah, but it's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going around saying this.
Neither was Snake Eyes.
Yeah, saying that it's gonna win Best Picture at the Oscars or anything like that. But you know, as Marvel movies go, I thought it was enjoyable. It's different than what you might expect from a lot of Marvel movies.
How is it different? Because to me, it's another. They're all like 2.5 hours, and they have superheroes in them.
It's another 2.5 hour movie with superheroes. It definitely could have been an hour and 45 minutes.
One critic said that he thought it should have been just like a long TV series. Like it was too short for what it was, but also like they couldn't really make it longer and have it be a movie. They could have made this a series. I think they could have, definitely. Only because there's, I think it was 10 Eternals that they, so many
focus on. And it's a lot of characters that honestly, even me, and I consider myself an above average Marvel fan. That's literally what I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I would say above average. I am tangentially familiar with these characters.
I know none of these people.
Same.
And I've read a lot of Marvel comics as well.
I know what they look like in the comics. That's basically it. And I know some of their names.
That's a lot.
And it's funny because like the one costume that I know that I like the best is one of the ones where they change, Makari, who they changed from male to female in the movie. So the costumes.
How dare they?
Not
Makari.
Exactly. Does it matter? No, not at all.
That's my favorite place to shop other than eBay.
It's funny. I tried to look it up to show my son what the original costume was, and it just gave me cheap knockoff Marvel stuff to buy. But I like the helmet. I wish they had like some sort of nod to the silly Jack Kirby crazy helmet, and that does not appear in
Nobody knows them.
I know. No. And again, it's fine. In many ways, it's a good thing because it allowed the director to do basically whatever she wanted with these characters. And in some cases, she really does. And in some ways, it really pays off. There's the relationship between, Angelina Jolie's character and Gilgamesh, the actor whose name I forget. And I know he's a big star, just not in America. So I apologize for that. But
is Kumail topless in this? That's all I want to know.
He does not take his shirt off.
What?
Which is really funny. I know.
Do you know? So I read this. There's that great. It was Vulture interview with him, and he said in that interview that whole like intense exercise regime that he did, that was 100% his idea. He took that idea to the producers to get permission to do that. He decided in his mind that if he was going to be a superhero and in this case, like a Pakistani, basically representing, Pakistan, he wanted to be a superhero, and he went through this crazy regime all on his own. And that was him. That was all him, and he's still doing it. He's still
he's great in it. I don't want to spoil it, but
Don't.
he has a very interesting arc in the movie. I think Gemma Chan is great in the movie, but that Thena Gilgamesh relationship, I actually thought was the best. Personally, I thought was the best part. I get it. I'm not going to spoil anything. It was just surprising. One of the things that I tweeted about was, Angelina Jolie, who I think very easily could have just phoned in her performance and no one would have said a word otherwise. I do think that she's actually, trying, if that makes sense.
Has she ever phoned in a performance?
Hackers? I don't know.
No, she was good in that.
I can't think of any role that I've seen her in where I'm like, oh, she's just here for the paychecks. Like she seems like,
especially when she's naked.
She's committed.
She was. That's what I'm in it. But I give her. I still, give
she's
credit
naked
where
in
credit's due. She's not naked.
Oh, I thought you just said she was naked.
She's naked in Girl Interrupted, isn't she? It's actually sort of a similar. Anyway, I don't want to get too into it. But and it's good, and it's also one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting about the movies because all the Eternals are different nationalities. Basically, a lot of the characters who normally have
it's like Captain Planet.
Yes, a lot of these characters who normally have to fake American accents get to use their real accents. So, like Richard Madden and Gemma Chan.
People?
You have to see the movie. Technically, space people.
But it's Earth from the future.
All the same.
Yeah, I like
all the same countries in space.
Yeah, all the same country in space. You know what? If you saw the movie,
I'll see the movie in another 3 months or so.
I think a lot of people are waiting.
On I haven't watched Black Widow. I haven't watched Shang-Chi.
Well, you'll be able to watch Shang-Chi this Friday.
Well, no, nice. I'm backlogged on.
We have to watch Black Widow and Shang-Chi. It's like a good weekend.
I don't think you understand like what 5 hours of movies, how that happens in my
You could do it. You could do it.
It takes 3 or 4 viewings.
But I will say
that
right.
I mean, for one movie, for us,
I think they dropped the ball in it were the Deviants.
Oh, we're still talking about Eternals.
Yes,
it's eternal. It's an eternal discussion.
Right? Is this going for 2.5 hours as well?
I could stop. Because I have the hiccups now.
Well, let's talk about it again when we all watch it on Disney Plus.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
But I'm glad you liked it. That's good that you liked it, and that makes me want to look forward to watching it.
I just burped.
Oh, well, you're allowed. I'm not. I don't have a monopoly on that.
Verp is that an Eternal?
We're still watching Haunting of Hill House. We're almost done. We have like maybe 1 or 2 episodes left. That show is pretty long. It's very well done. I would recommend it, and I'll talk about it more when we finish it. But I would say you should check that out if you haven't already. You like scary stuff? What's Ghosts? That sounds scary.
No, Ghosts. I've talked about this briefly before. It's a sitcom on CBS.
That is scary. Oh my god!
And we're still watching.
Is there a laugh track? Because that would terrify me.
There is not a laugh track. And I was gonna say, Cheapy, if I'm not telling you to watch the whole series.
He's not gonna watch it. This is not his thing at all.
He needs to watch just one episode.
He doesn't listen to what I talk about shows, so he doesn't know what I like.
I'm telling you, you would like episode 6.
Oh, one episode. There's a specific episode.
Is it RoboCop?
It is 21 minutes long.
Okay.
How much like
this is my only tease for it. It did make my wife cry.
You think I'll like it because it's sad?
Yes.
I don't want. What are you doing to me? I'm not seeking out sad recommendations.
I think you'll like it because it's not even that it's sad. It's just well done, and I think you would appreciate a network sitcom trying to elicit actual emotions on a network sitcom show. Something that really you don't see on TV, on network TV much.
And it's mostly table tennis, you're saying?
And it's mostly table tennis. The episode's called Pete's Wife.
Plays
if you
table
only
tennis
watch one episode, if you only watch one episode, it's
Ghost episode 6.
Ghost episode 6.
It could happen. Like, you never know. You never know.
I know. I'm just saying, if you stumble across it, you're like, I have 20 minutes.
I skip straight to episode 6.
Yeah. You don't even have to watch the other episodes. You don't.
A ghost could take control of my television. It could just come on.
I'm not telling you to watch the whole show. I'm just saying.
I got it. This sliver.
It looks like a cute show. I just don't think it's cheapy.
Yeah, generally speaking, it's a cute, light show. And then they did this episode where they were like, "Oh, by the way, it's not always going to be cute and light." And
Sure,
it,
it's that 5 to 6 episode thing where everything changes, just like every other show in existence right now.
Oh, that's what they're doing now? That's the thing?
Every show is that way. Only Murders had that episode. I've been
That was
watching
just one episode where they did that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
One episode. They take one episode.
Everybody
Okay.
goes one episode, like, here's our completely different tone and way of telling the story.
Look, the director needs a week off.
It's not quite as dramatic as that Only Murders episode, because I know which one you're talking about. It's not that tonally different.
Right.
So
did you finish Only Murders, Chip?
No, we still have, I think we either have 2 or 3 episodes left, but I will say it got a lot better after the first 3 episodes. Like episode 4, it actually starts getting good. I think the first 3 episodes were just too much lead in for me. Like,
they needed to get you to care about Martin Short's character a little bit, because he has so much personality as Martin Short and the character that they have to get you to feel a little bad. I mean,
I think they just up the stakes. They up the stakes a lot more after the 3rd episode.
Yeah,
and there's actually like mystery involved.
Sure.
The first 3 episodes.
Yeah, once they
like,
establish that there's an actual mystery to solve, it becomes a much more engaging show.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 episodes, you're like, so are these guys just crazy? Is that what I'm watching? A show about 3 annoying people? And then it's like, oh no, there's actually something going on here, and they're not wrong.
Yep.
And it changes the whole tone of the series.
Yeah.
And a shittier version of that show would have had that part be longer, because those episodes are only like half an hour, and they feel longer in a good way. Like they feel like they really fill those episodes. Maybe not the first 3, but going forward, they fill those episodes like pretty well. Mrs. Cheapy suggested that we start watching this Netflix show called Swap Shop, because
is it about the flea market in Tampa? It is?
Well, they're all over the South. So
yeah, but this
it's
is
a radio show, right? Like, it's a radio show that they're radio shows that basically people call up and they'll say, "Hey, I've got, an antique typewriter or something. Do you want to come buy it?" And then people make offers on it. So they're basically trying to go for storage wars. And we used to like that show. But I know Swap Shop from Howard Stern, because they're constantly pranking those radio shows, because they're all over the place, right? All over the South anyway. In the rural South, where people don't know how to use eBay and things like that. They just we know how to use the radio and the telephone, and we're not learning anything else. Anyway, we watched 20 minutes, and it just seemed so fake and produced that we didn't even make 20 minutes. That's crazy. We didn't make 20 minutes. 10 minutes tops, and we noped out. But definitely go on YouTube and type in Swap Shop prank phone calls and listen to Sal and Richard tell people that they woke up in a bathtub in ice and they need to buy a kidney. And
what's this documentary that you watched, Wombat?
I watched the history of late night. It's a CNN miniseries that they just added to HBO Max. So I watched the first 2 episodes, and so far it's really good.
This is a new series?
It's a new series.
Okay.
So it has, it's all updated interviews with people that are, those that are still alive. And it was really interesting. There was a lot about I'm fascinated with TV of the 50s and 60s, and
that's when you grew up.
Yeah, it's when I grew up. The first 2 episodes is basically 1950 through 1980 in that era of talk show. So I don't know if it's something that you're interested in late night television and how that came to be. When TV started, TV ended at 11 and they just kind of shut it off for you. And
we're out of content. That's it.
That's it. So long. And then Steve Allen came along, and then he left, and then Jack Parr did it for 5 years, and he was basically the most famous person in the country for 5 years, and I'm sure Shipwreck has never even heard of him. So
Jack Parr?
Yeah,
I've heard of him.
Shipwreck knows things.
I know
Mhm.
things. I didn't watch much late night between the years of 1950 and 1980.
You don't go back on YouTube to catch up? Just to make sure
Yeah,
you didn't miss anything?
I don't.
I do watch old like Rodney Dangerfield. Not
Yeah,
Jack
those are
Parr,
great.
obviously, but like on
No,
Johnny
he
Carson.
wasn't on Jack Parr.
No.
Jack Parr was done by 1962.
Yeah.
That's when Carson comes in and obviously changes everything. And there's also, they talk about Dick Cavett and Merv Griffin and stuff like that. Dick Cavett, who's a super nice guy. Yeah,
Dead
very
or
interesting. He's not dead. Dick Cavett
Okay.
is
Just checking.
very much alive.
Nice.
So
That's good to know. Very much.
Hey, Wombat, I have a fun game for you.
Sure.
We can throw this in here. So today I picked up the classic album Blue Chips, the soundtrack on CD.
So you bought this on purpose. That I want to make sure of.
Of course.
How
It was
much?
$1.
I get
$1.
made fun of for watching a documentary on a service that I already have, but you went out of your way and bought the Blue Chip soundtrack. I just want to make sure.
It's got it. I enjoy it. It has Nolte and Shaq larger than the name of the movie.
Yep.
That's probably what the posters was like, don't you think? I mean,
Mhm.
Probably. So Wombat,
Makes
my
sense.
challenge to you is name one group or song that is on the Blue Chips soundtrack. Have you seen this movie?
I have not.
Ooh, Cheapy, have you seen this movie?
I have not. Can I is there
Yeah, we'll
is
go
one of the
back and-
songs?
We'll go back and forth
Okay.
between. We'll give Wombat the first guess.
Okay.
I will go with is Whoop There It Is by Tag Team on that soundtrack.
It is not on this soundtrack.
Oh, it's not a bad guess. I
Okay.
stand by that.
Is that song that they used to intro the Chicago Bulls Sirius on the soundtrack?
It is not. This seems like it's going to be really hard because
Oh.
you guys have not seen this movie at all.
Can we get like some genre hints maybe or
Let's
something
go
that
a couple more. We'll go a couple more, and then I make
Okay.
some hints. Don't look at the chat either, because people are going to start like.
Okay, yeah, I won't look at the
Wikipediaing this and
chat.
everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Oh, I'm like, because I feel like, is there any R. Kelly on there?
No R. Kelly. No R. Kelly.
Hmm. We Will Rock You?
Good guess. No.
Shit.
I would say that is
Like if I just
Genre-wise-
guess like sports.
genre wise. You're getting closer.
Yeah. That's what-
Really?
yeah. That's my strategy.
Keep in
there.
mind, Nolte is the top.
I
name on
mean,
this.
Wait, but there's no songs by Nick Nolte on there, right?
I
Or
know.
I wish there were. No, and Shaq's not on here either, which is unbelievable because this movie came out a year after Shaq's album did, and you have to think like he
Oh.
went into that like really positioning for like one of his songs to be on the soundtrack. Like
so is there Queen on that soundtrack?
there is no Queen on the soundtrack.
Final Countdown?
No Final Countdown.
I was gonna say that next too, by the way, GP.
That's okay.
That's
All
where- that's where I
I'm
thought he was
stealing your- I'm
going.
stealing your guesses.
Yeah.
I don't
Is there
know.
is it like Gary Glitter? Is it like Jock Jams?
No,
goodbye.
no,
Goodbye. That goodbye song. Na goodbye.
No,
Fuck.
So this is not.
Are you ready
isn't
for
like-
this? How about
I'm
this?
not ready for that.
Damn. Pump it up. Pump up the jam.
No pump up. No.
No,
jam
give
for
us
pumping.
some artists
No
at least
jams
at this point.
You're in completely the wrong genre of music.
All right, give us some
I'm
artists
thinking
then.
like music you would hear at a basketball game.
What would Nick Nolte? What would Nick Nolte listen to?
Shakedown.
He listens to "The Boys Are Back in Town" by the Bus Boys, and that's the
Okay.
only song he knows. That's a good joke for people who got it. By the way,
I didn't get it, but I liked it.
it's the one song from 48 Hours.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I still never saw that.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I should watch that.
This is
Worth
really
your time.
disappointing
Yeah.
to me that you guys are nowhere close to any of these.
Give us hints.
Is it got so is it like Kenny Loggins?
Oh, what about Jump Around? House of Pain.
no
Nick Nolte. Songs that Nick Nolte.
So
would
is there
listen
Kenny
to.
Loggins on that?
There's no Kenny Loggins.
Oh.
Is there Michael McDonald on that?
You're getting closer.
Is there Doobie Brothers on there?
You are in the right range of music now.
Is like
Oh.
Kansas on there?
No, you went a little bit too far.
like Journey or
Jerry Rafferty? What do we got?
No.
no, just tell us. It's too long.
Oh my
We'll
goodness.
never get it.
I'm not gonna get it at this point.
So here is the list of artists
Yeah.
on
That you spent $1 on.
that I spent $1 on this Blue Chip soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
John Mellencamp, Jimi Hendrix, Creedence Clearwater Revival, John Lee Hooker, Slim Harpo.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. Al Green,
Okay, I know who that is.
Nile Rodgers.
I know who that is.
Does all of the instrumental music,
Mm.
including the Western U medley, including the dolphin fight song, and them. That is the soundtrack.
You wasted $1,
from
my friend.
Blue Chips.
You just.
I'm assuming the them song is Gloria.
Baby, please don't go.
Oh, deep cut.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you
Just
guys should
throw
watch Blue Chips.
Yeah,
Fantastic movie.
yeah.
Where are we here?
We're in the soundtracks that Chip
Right.
picks
All
up
right.
for $1.
Let's move on to new releases. Let's get away from Blue Chips as soon as possible. What kind of beer are you drinking tonight, Chip? I'm sure somebody wants to know that.
I'm drinking Zombie Dust by Three Floyds.
That's just beer that doesn't have any like PCP in it or anything.
Not that I know of.
Check.
Okay.
Okay. What do we got?
What are we looking at?
I don't know. Call of Duty Vanguard.
New releases now.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Oh, okay. We're new releases.
Call of Duty. They made one again.
All right. Does it have zombies in it?
It has NFTs.
Does it really? Because
No.
I believe you.
No.
I'm like, okay.
Zombie
I mean,
NFTs.
That checks.
No, not yet. Maybe in a few months. The only thing I've seen of this game is I still follow Dr. Disrespect on Twitter, and he posted a video, my important thoughts on Call of Duty Vanguard. And it's just clip after clip of him spawning into a multiplayer match, yelling, go, 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 running like it's just like our E3 demo ship.
Yeah.
Running like 200 feet, shooting like into like the void, and then dying. And then restarting again, and it's like 15 in a row of that. Maybe, and once in a while he kills somebody.
It seems like it's the Call of Duty experience.
I laugh
right?
pretty hard.
Yeah, like it's a unless you play it a lot, it's a lot of running in a direction and then you shoot. It seems like a whole clip off, and then you just get like hit once, and you're dead.
The campaign is supposed to be good. I saw on Twitter. People seem to enjoy the campaign, thought it was very good looking and fun.
Do they all die at the end?
Probably.
I mean, eventually. It does take place in the 40s, so.
Is there a guy named Soap?
Most likely. So that's that. I don't know like if I'm at the library and I see it.
You're a Call of Duty guy.
I haven't finished Far Cry yet. I got to finish.
You're the Call of Duty guy on this podcast.
I feel like I am, and the problem is I'm even switching from Far Cry to Apex is screwing me up because I'm pushing the LB button to change weapons, and then I'm throwing Loba's ring instead. So I'm gonna have to wait to finish Far Cry. I think I'm getting close though. I think I'm
Good
getting.
work.
I think so. What else?
My Singing Monsters.
No.
Finally on consoles.
Finally.
That game is very popular.
Oh,
for a while.
Horizon.
They made toys and everything, you know.
I don't even know about it.
Yeah, you're laughing. That's a big property.
Not for me.
It was
Not
an
my
iPhone
world.
game.
What about Forza Horizon 5? That's a pretty big game that came out.
Never heard of it.
And we played it because we all dish out the $45.
I think we did. Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
I like
to be confused at what I've bought with money and what in the game when it says I own a car, but then I go like, okay, I want to get in this car. It's like, oh, would you just like to spend $1.2 million to get into this car? No. Well, how about the free voucher that you have?
Maybe.
Let me.
I did use my voucher on that most expensive car in the game. I assume that's what they assume everyone's going to do with their voucher.
Oh.
Or
I
just
figure-
spend it on the first thing because they hit the wrong button.
That happens.
Yeah. I think it was the 30 million credit car I used my voucher for.
Nice.
I'm like this. I'm never going to get this car any other way. I might as well use it.
Yeah, that's my only complaint with it so far with playing it, is it's still really not intuitive how to get in the cars that you've collected versus the car. Like when you're in the car show,
Mhm.
Okay.
it's very like, oh, I don't want to hit the wrong button here.
And now they added this other thing, this other menu where there's like this fake season pass thing, which according to the game ends today. So the first one was only 2 days, 1 day if you didn't have the early thing.
Right.
And I think it was today was the first time I actually figured out how to find it a second time, because it's the first thing you see when you load up and then you exit it. And I was like, I have no idea what this was or where to see it again.
Right.
And
by the way, I think we all really like this game, even though we immediately started criticizing it, like right out of the
We're
bat.
gonna do an opposite. We're gonna criticize it first, and then talk about the good stuff.
Okay. Just wanted just throwing that out there.
And then it was like, and then I'm like, oh, I guess this is how I do the things. But it's like a big pain in the. It wasn't.
It's not even just that one thing. I'm constantly losing menus. Like I know what I want to do, and I know where I've seen it, but I'm in the wrong place. Like I'm either like I'm in the Horizon Club and I can't get it. I have to be in the car on the road to get to that thing.
Yeah.
Or I have to be in the club.
Confusing. Yeah.
Yeah. There's too much menu. It's overly complicated for reasons I don't understand.
In terms of like that, like
organization.
The collection. Not in terms of the gameplay, really.
No,
that
the
part's
funny
fine.
thing is
it's all the
playing,
like, oh crap,
playing the game.
And now I'm in this menu that I'm trying to figure out where I go do stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Playing the game couldn't be easier or more fun.
Right.
But it's everything else. It's everything else around it. I have so many stupid icons on my map. I'm like trying to figure out what I should do and why doing what over another thing is important. And then I go and I do
exactly.
Nothing's important. I do the race.
Right?
And when I win the race, my guy's, doing his stupid dance. And then it's just like numbers. I won numbers. I don't know what these numbers are for, but I won a whole bunch of numbers. Oh, right. Look, I'm level 30 now, which I am. I'm level 31.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
It just keeps going up.
Accolades? You got accolades too.
I got accolades. Yeah, I'm like
alkalines,
alkalines,
altoids, all everything.
In a way, and I know this. And again, Forza Horizon 5 is an excellent game. It's as good as any driving game can be.
Yeah.
But the reward system and the leveling system reminds me a lot of the Avengers game, where it's like, oh, look, I won numbers.
And right, look at all these bars I'm filling up. Like, what am I doing even? Right.
When it should be, oh, I won the race. Congratulations, here's a car.
Yeah.
There's so many races, though.
Yeah, well.
So you'd be getting... Yeah.
Well, then fine. Then here's a hat.
Yeah, here's a hat.
It should always be
They're giving you the hats. Don't worry. Right. You're getting plenty of hats.
Well, no, because you have to level up to get a spin, and you have to do like 4 races before you level up.
Wait, are you saying you're not getting enough hats? Because come on over to my house.
Oh my god!
You need any jean shorts? Perhaps a jacket or two. Also,
they should be like after every race.
Like right. I like that was a brave choice. Like first impression is guy in jean shorts.
Everybody in jean shorts and a t-shirt.
I have a chicken piñata costume. So I'm pretty set.
I want them to put in I think it came with the $45 pack, the spacesuit.
Yes.
So if you get the spacesuit and a bald white guy, you pretty much got Bezos, and they also have various hats to complement the outfit.
Actually, I have the cowboy hat, so it's spacesuit, bald guy with a cowboy hat.
I got that going, and I made my license plate Bezos, and it's the only way the game makes any sense. Because he could make that happen for himself. Like
basically, he could buy Mexico.
He could buy, just say, look, I'm shutting down this whole fucking thing, and I'm dropping Lamborghinis out of the sky, and I'm going to get in them. And they're just going to keep coming, and I'll have DJs and everything, and maybe some of my friends will come, and that you can believe that. So I'm living that. I've made it an RPG basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I'm playing a lot. I played some online, and that was really fun. It's a really good game if you just want to talk to people and hang out. It's a pretty chill game in that regard. And by the way, it looks pretty fucking good on the Xbox Series X. I gotta say.
No, it's a great looking game. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I like doing the races. I have like 70 cars at this point, but yeah, no, it's great.
The major improvement is that you can now run through guardrails.
That's. So, I also think that Mexico as a location is more interesting than what was the last one, England or whatever it was.
It's a great location.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
England. Somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there.
Land.
Yeah, exactly. It just didn't. It wasn't as environmentally
It's not exotic. I mean, it's just not as exotic, and certainly in the environment,
we have deserts and jungles and mountains and
volcanoes
and just the coastline, and Tulum is in there where I went on my honeymoon.
And then it's so cool vertical too. Like you really see some amazing, like you really see beautiful scenery while and you'll say, wow. Yep. I switched as soon as I got it. I switched to the 60 frames per second mode because to me, like racing games should be 60 frames per second, but it just looks so much better in the 30 frames per second mode that I had to switch back and stick with it. And you get used to it. Like it makes it more cinematic, I guess. Like think of it that way.
I think that's what it was on as the default.
Yes,
that is the default.
So I just trust these games know what's best.
They were right
and hit the default.
I wonder if it matters what system you're on, but certainly for the 1X, I would say. I mean, sorry, the Series X, right? What do I have? I have a Series X. 1X is something else. That's the old one. I have that too. But on a Series X, I think you got to go with the quality mode.
It's a fun game.
Yep.
It's worth your time.
Yep.
I mean, if you have Game Pass now, it's definitely worth your time. But yeah.
Also out this week, Fast and Furious Spy Racers: Rise of Shifter. Good release.
Good, yeah.
Spell Shifter, please.
Capital S, capital H, 1, the
number one.
Yeah.
FT, number 3, R.
Thank you.
Now that game though is not a racing game. That is just an NFT mining tool.
Based upon the popular Netflix cartoon, based upon the movies. Oh,
you might get the rare Vin Diesel NFT.
I don't think you're getting Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious Spy Racers.
Where he says, so you want that.
Right.
Is Shifter a good guy or a bad guy based upon this?
I'm going to say Shifter is a bad guy.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to say it's an evil organization.
Rise of Cobra. Like Rise of Cobra.
Yeah. It's an organization.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be. Yeah. We're never going to know.
Yeah.
No, we will not.
Anything else?
Jurassic World.
Yes.
Jurassic World Evolution 2. I really like the first one. I have not played the second one, but I'm sure it's similar to the first one, but more of that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I bet it's good.
Let's move on to GPD's Wombat's Fortnightly News.
Oh, we get songs.
Yeah, songs. We got that shit. We got all that shit. So the big Fortnite news is that
Naruto is coming.
Is he?
Yeah, next week.
I never watched 1 second of that show.
I'm like, there are people that are like so excited, and it's all over my Twitter feed. I can't believe this is finally happening. My dreams are coming true. And I'm like, this means absolutely nothing to me.
I remember Naruto shooting a lot of guns.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm happy people are happy.
How's his run animation? That's the important part.
I'm sure well, they already have that emote in the game. The silly arm run.
Yeah, but if he's moving at any kind of speed, he's got to have the arms behind him.
They're not going to fuck that up.
They usually do those things well. So
they know what they're doing.
Naruto. I know it's Naruto. People are making fun of us in the chat because I said Naruto. Naruto? Oh. Like Neil Cavuto? It's Naruto. Anyway. Yep. You were going to talk about that they've pulled all Travis Scott items that they were selling after the concert.
How do you feel about that, Wombat, as a Fortnite super fan?
It's the right thing to do. I think, well, they had put the emote in the shop the day that the festival started.
Makes sense.
Yeah, which makes sense, in out of context or in context for, assuming that it was just a festival that happened, that makes perfect sense. When everything went down, they're like, "Oh, we can't sell this. Well, this, this is horrible."
Right. It's not going to be a good. Yeah, it's not going to go
Yeah.
well.
So of course, it's the right thing to do, and they probably won't sell any of it again. So that's that.
Ever, you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's.
You
I
think
don't
he's
it's coming
persona
back.
non grata now in the Fortnite world?
Yeah, I think they'll stick with Ariana Grande. They're
These
all
woke
in on
libs,
her.
man. These woke libs don't want
Mhm.
these riot causing musician. No, he does.
I think the next chapter is going to be in. It starts in less than a month. In 24 days, I think we're going to get chapter 3. It's going to be very exciting.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited about Spider-Man coming to Avengers? Are you going to switch over to PS4 and
They released
started from the beginning.
Yeah, they released the first screenshot today, and the trailer comes out tomorrow. So when people are listening to this on their phones, it'll be
they can see
out. Yeah,
That's gonna be a tough trailer, like strictly because the Spider-Man games themselves are so good,
Mhm.
right? Like to have him in this, and if it's not on the same level, which it's not,
Can't
gonna
be.
on the same level,
Can't be.
just because of the game structure itself.
Right.
It's gonna be a tough sell.
I wonder who they're going to get to voice Spider-Man. Like, do they get the same actor as is it Josh Keaton, or is that like an older one? Are they going to get the same voice actor?
Andrew Garfield. What's he doing?
Are they going to get
He's around,
It's
I'm
like,
sure.
yeah. I'm like, it's interesting.
But,
I'm
yeah.
glad they're finally doing it.
Took a long
And then
time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't care because, like you said, I have it on a different console, but at least when it's passed, it'll be passed, and it won't be something that people keep asking. Like, I feel like they're not doing a lot of other things because they have to get the Spider-Man thing done because of the stupid contract that they have with Sony to get the stupid Spider-Man thing done. So I think once they're past the whole Spider-Man thing,
Finally, they can make it good.
I mean, which is so sad. Like this, first of all, this game is over a year old at this point, and there aren't many games that people even remotely talk about after a year. I'm sure we're the only people that talk about it at all. But the fact that they're still giving it a go and haven't just said, let's just move on to Avengers 2.
So much money. Avengers 2?
Yeah. Or
There's
whatever.
no Avengers 2.
No,
they still got to dig out of this hole.
I know.
Rise of the Imperfects 2 has a better chance.
Seriously. Or, Guardians of the Galaxy. Ship, did you finish it yet?
No, I'm on chapter 9 or 10.
Okay, so you're getting there.
I am getting there. It gets better. It's the same thing as kind of Only Murders. Like
too much talking.
Way too much talking and walking in the early going.
Not enough stabbing.
Not enough anything early on. Early on, I know why they did it. I just don't think it didn't quite need as much as what they did.
You hate walking in games, though. I notice you always complain, like in
what
Overwatch, too much
what am I
walking.
supposed to be doing? Yeah, like that is not an interesting mechanic to me.
I know.
I'm trying to play a video game, not walk around in a video game. That's very, I don't know, not.
I think
engaging.
Guardians of the Galaxy is a better comic book video game than Avengers is. It has a better idea of who the fans are of the license than Avengers does.
They're of similar. If you look at the story modes,
mm-hmm.
they're of similar quality. I think the Ms. Marvel storyline was pretty good, and
the Ms. Marvel storyline in the Avengers game was good. The problem with the Avengers game was not the story mode. That's
sure. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're just looking at the story modes, I think they're around the same level of quality. The Guardians one, it's a little bit more interesting because they can get a little weirder with it.
Mm-hmm. Get some good comic book deep cuts in there.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it now. I actually feel like playing more than a level at a time, so that's a good sign.
It's not breaking you down, is what you're saying.
No, I think if they would have been like, hey, do you want to just skip all the walking and go straight to chapter 4 or whatever it was, I'd have been like, yes, let's skip that walking because I understand who these characters are and what their motivations are. But,
which
I'm
is
fair. Play it at some point. Maybe
it's a worthwhile play.
Yeah, you should play it.
Yeah.
You'll like it.
Will it pair well with Forza and
Yes.
and Far Cry? And
Yes, because you could play
Halo?
one level of Guardians, and then you're like done for the day, and that's like 45 minutes. And then you go into and that's like an in between. Because if you want to do, I would say you want to do Far Cry, then Guardians, then Forza.
People, are you writing this down?
No.
And then it's either Forza's your bedtime game,
No.
or you can try to get
that.
one round of Apex in before you go to bed.
Now, I got to finish Far Cry, and then I can focus on things that have shooting in them. Because Far Cry is a lot, like at a certain point, you're like, I get it. This is fun. I'm just at this point unlocking like more icons on the map to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Well, that's
like,
Forza too, isn't it?
Yeah, but Forza I feel like is more about just like the experience of like looking at the scenery and listening to the music and checking out the cars, and it's
I
more
like
of
when
like
Forza when there's a couple of little areas, and there's not a lot of them. I think I've actually done them all, where it's almost a little Tony Hawkish, and I wish they had more of those.
Oh, you're doing like the jumps and
the trick area?
No, you're like in a smaller enclosed area, and it's like collect these icons.
Oh, right. I know what you're talking about. They're like little mini missions. Yeah. And little story, like set up the earthquake equipment.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. That's one of the ones. That's one of the ones.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
like the festival, setting up the festivals, maybe?
Setting up the festival stuff. Yeah. And there's like 5 of them. And there are these little things. It's like, here's your optional objectives.
Yeah.
But this is the main objective. So
it breaks up the loop a little bit.
It breaks up the loop a little bit. And it reminded me a lot of like Tony Hawk, but with cars. And I'm like, they could have more of that. And that would probably have benefited this game.
The DLC, there's a lot of DLC coming to this game. And you paid for it already.
We already paid for it. So
get ready. I think they'll be adding more stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah. What else we got here? Let's move on to what? Let's move on to Sony. Did I ask this last week, Ship, about Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, you asked that
I did. All right.
I still have not.
That was last week.
You didn't buy it?
I've not done anything. I don't need it right now.
Why not? It's really fucking good, though.
Well, I know, but I have these games that I've already committed myself to.
That's like last year. It's not
but
new.
No, but
like
it's
Avengers.
the director. But no one's experienced the PS5 version in this crew. And it's supposed
I'm in the middle of Guardians.
Okay.
And
that's short though. You'll finish that soon.
And I need to get back to Deathloop. So
oh man.
I've got some things here on the calendar.
I'm gonna forget what this game was all about by the time we get to it.
Plus, I've been playing the Nintendo Switch all the time too.
What do you mean?
I unlocked all the things in Cruis'n Blast.
Nice.
Yeah. I
keep hearing good things about that. I'm definitely gonna check that out when it comes to Xbox at some point.
Yeah, it's fun.
Did I mention this Nintendo item last week too about their Nintendo? I did, right? The Nintendo Switch Online and expansion
I don't remember
pack trailer.
Talking about this specifically now.
Oh well, their video about that was their most disliked YouTube video.
Is this what made YouTube take out the dislikes?
That's why I was going to bring it up, regardless of whether I mentioned it before or not. Because they just got rid of the dislikes, and I was like, oh, Nintendo's got power, I guess.
I think they do. They're probably like,
we don't like that.
Yep. Take it away.
Right. A quick little hit in our Quest corner. There's this browser game that you can play in your Quest browser called, you just go to moonrider.xyz. I forgot where I read about this, but I checked it out, and it's basically
that sounds so shady.
It's super shady. It's
okay.
It's basically like Guitar Hero in VR, but it's free, and it's got like 15,000 songs in it, and they're licensed songs. They got like a lot of electronic songs.
Licensed.
Well, no, I mean, they didn't license them. They should be licensed.
Somebody
licensed them for other things, and then there's this game. And it's not that much of a game, but you're basically just punching icons like you would do in any of these rhythm VR games. But I spent about 30 minutes playing it, and I worked up a pretty good sweat. They got a bunch of Major Lazer songs in there, and other things that Wombat would probably like.
Of the Blue Chips soundtrack?
They might have some of it. So if you want to just check it out, it was moonrider.xyz. And it's just cool to see what you can get done in a browser in VR. Like it's a VR game.
I like free too. That's
yeah,
a good
you would
price.
like it. I'm sure they have some classic rock jams in there. I didn't check, but let's move on to my stupid PC corner. The Valve Steam Deck has been delayed just only a couple months though, right? It was like 2 months.
Yeah, they said 2 months.
Yeah, that's no big deal. So, did
Thanks,
you order
Joe
that?
Biden.
What?
Let's go, Brandon. Is that what you said?
That's what I said. You heard me.
Did you order one, Chip?
No, I didn't order.
No,
one.
I figured you would. For science.
Why?
For science. He likes to order
For
these
science,
things.
I think I would have for science, but then I wasn't on the computer the instant that they went up or something, and then I don't know.
How much? These things are like $300, right? Or no? More? Do we know? Nobody knows. One of these things. Yeah, no.
Once you can't buy it, it doesn't matter. how
Right.
much it
I
is.
feel like it was right in your price range of where you would just buy it because it plays games and people know what it is. Yeah, I'm not too interested in that, but I know people are disappointed because they were looking forward to a holiday season. With their Steam Deck.
$399.
$399.
Starting at $399, right? So
Okay.
there was the $399, which was not the one you wanted. You wanted the, like, I don't know, $529 version is the sweet spot.
We're already into serious money there.
Right. Like that. When you launch at multiple tiers like that, with 3 of them in particular, like the good, better, best model, like that good model does not look that enticing. At
No.
that point.
No. We'll see.
Most things that are, at the good level you don't want. I try to avoid anything with good in the name.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Or imperfect. Pizza. Good pizza is okay.
I
It's
don't
fine.
know.
Good pizza is fine.
Good pizza with an E on the end or no E on the end? Because if there's an E on the end, I'm avoiding
Oh,
it.
Cincinnati pizza must be horrible. No, sorry. This is not the part of the show where we shit on Cincinnati pizza. We have a whole special episode next week. We're going to have pictures and everything. A deep dive. We're taking a deep dive. Just kidding. Let's move on to the CAG bag. We're not all food. We're not food snobs.
I'm not.
No. Let's move on to the CAG bag. Question from Grim Grinning Guy. He says, I'm having a hard time thinking of holiday gifts for my son, who's 7 this year. What are the hot presents in the CAGcast households? Wombat, you already did all your holiday shopping.
Yeah, well, Hanukkah is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So it's like in a week, 2 weeks.
Right.
2.5 weeks.
I just bought the kid birthday presents at the end of October. Now we're doing this all over again. There's nothing left.
I know. We're all done. I had very little to do with what my daughter's getting.
Well, what's the hotness?
For a 7-year-old? I mean, the trusty rusties are, like Legos. You can't go wrong there. I think every kid likes Legos. I think they're, you'll find happiness there. We traditionally get the Hess truck.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So we have
that's a good gift for a 7-year-old for sure. Hess truck. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
What about a poop flashlight?
I would also go with they have a whole new line of some pretty cool looking Nerf guns. That's always popular. The Nerf gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for us, Fortnite figures are very popular in this house. So the 4-inch, $9.99 ones.
4 inches is fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like G.I. Joe knockoff.
Nice.
But they're popular. So that's what I would recommend.
Right.
Yeah, I would recommend just going to the store and seeing what's there and then loading up on those Dune and Eternals figures.
I think for a 7-year-old,
just get him like 5 Kumail figures.
They make some really cool Hot Wheel sets if you have the room for that in your house. Like an Ultimate Garage.
The Hot Wheels take up a lot of room.
They take up a lot of room. So if you have the room for a Hot Wheel set, maybe get like a cool Hot Wheel set. Those are fun.
I've just been like slowly compiling all of the impossible to find like G.I. Joes and Masters of the Universe like over the last anytime they come up. Every morning I get on like Amazon and Walmart's websites and just type in the things, and then sometimes stuff is in stock and I order it. So that's That's what Dashel likes. Emmeline
He-Man?
likes all of the he likes He-Man. He likes the G.I. Joe figures.
Do you have your old He-Man figures?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. He doesn't play with the old ones.
No,
Got the new ones.
Right.
Yeah. It was funny on the way home from picking him up from preschool today. He was really thinking about what he was going to do when, as a job growing up, right? As kids do. And he had gotten it down to either he was going to be like a Minecraft game maker. I don't know where that came from, but
Okay,
sure. Or he was going to be a ninja.
Right.
And
you could probably do both.
that was his conclusion as well. Is maybe I want to do both. But he was asking me who do ninjas fight against? Because he's I want to be a ninja, but I'm not sure who I'm going to fight against. I'm like, well, other ninjas. And then out of nowhere, he's like, I'm going to be a ninja that fights against snakes.
Snake ninja.
And I'm like, you just nailed the whole, I want to make this was his thing. He wanted to make a Minecraft game where you played as Snake Eyes and you fought against snakes and then you fought Storm Shadow as the final boss.
Is that the movie?
That is the movie. Yeah.
It's like,
so when we said a 4-year-old
you
should write a better
Right.
movie.
He didn't see the movie, right?
No, he's not seen the movie.
Yeah.
He's not seen anything about the movie.
Right.
Just nailed the entire plot line of anything interesting with
That happened in that movie.
Yeah.
Funny. That's good.
Mhm.
Rob writes in, he says, have any of you guys been to merry old England? Where did you go or where would you want to go? Guessing Wombat would be interested in Liverpool.
I've never been to Europe. So
You want to go to Liverpool?
sure, why not? London.
Is that your first choice?
No, probably London.
I've been to London.
I'm sure it's nice.
I went to
I've
Pizza
never
Hut.
been. There was a game that wanted to fly me out there at one point.
That's
Remember
right.
that?
What was it?
Oh man, it was a racing game of some sort.
Mhm.
Some racing game wanted to fly me out for a 3-day trip to England.
Was it to drive Porsches or something like that? No.
Oh, I have no idea what they
Yeah,
what they
it
wanted
was.
to do.
It was like they were gonna let them drive on the countryside, right? Wasn't that part of it?
I can't remember what it was.
There
but
was
it
what do you call it? A junket. That was
Yeah, it was a
definitely
junket.
that.
yeah,
was-
that they wanted me to come out there. and
Those
I'm
don't
like,
exist anymore.
No.
probably for the best.
Mhm.
There was no reason they needed to be flying me to England for a 3-day trip to England.
That was not going to be a good investment on their part. They were not going to realize their
That
investment.
was part of the reason I'm like, I don't know that I need to do
Yeah.
this.
What else we got here? Shanafan wants to know if any of us are signing up for Twitter Blue. That's the new subscription service at Twitter. It's $2.99 a month, and it'll let you undo a tweet for some period of time and upload 10-minute videos and bookmark tweets and I don't know what else. No ads or still ads? I don't know.
I
Not
don't
sure.
know.
I would not sign up for that. That is
Until
not enough.
they completely ruin normal Twitter. I think
They haven't done that
their
yet.
plan has success that isn't success based for me to be paying for Twitter.
Right. They need to do more, I would say. They need to try a little harder. All right. We made it to the end of the show and my headache went away. Good job,
Told ya.
Tylenol. Tylenol did it. I took 2.
I think it was Wombat. I'm gonna give the credit to Wombat.
Wombat took my headache away. Interesting. How did you do that?
And don't forget, if you look closely, you can see. Wait, no, it's on the other side. Look, it's Rick. No, Rick.
It was his
Rick.
overlit shirt. His overlit shirt cured my headache.
Rick.
Thank you.
Rick.
Well, let's remind everybody to watch us record the show live Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time on twitch.tv/cheapassgamer. I will have to fix these channel rewards for next week. I see it. I have to redo everything. That'll be fun. Sorry about that if you tried to get that going in the chat. Join our Discord. We have a CAG Discord, many different rooms. Discord.gg/CAG, including we have a CAGcast room where you can come and leave us reviews right in our area if you want. If iTunes isn't good enough for you, you can come tell us that we're woke right in our own Discord. That would be fun. Why not? Mix it up with the gang. Why not? Also, use Fortnite creator code Wombat5277 when you buy your V-Bucks on the Epic whatever store, game store. Use Wombat5277. And that's also the combination on my luggage. No, it's not. All right. That's it. We will see you next week.
Bread's done.